got the Xperia Accessories lineup here. So what have we got? You've seen some of these devices here. I think we had one of these in for testing, right? What is that, Chris?
So right here we've got the Sony Smartwatch 2. It's Sony's second generation smartwatch. If you'll recall, they tried doing this a few years back with a very sort of early, very developer-friendly device. And it was fine. It was never really meant to be sort of a consumer device, but they threw it out there anyway. Didn't really pan out so well. So they're trying it again with the Smartwatch 2. You're right, we did get one of these in for testing yesterday. Very early thoughts. I'm not super impressed. I like sort of a simplistic approach where you have your notifications on your wrist and alarms, and that's pretty much it. I don't need too much more than that.
Yeah, that's because I was testing it, and I had the Pebble here too, and I was testing them side by side. I was getting notifications on the Pebble in real time, and these were coming in sort of slowly and sporadically, and not necessarily at all, right? So that one, I mean, they have an API, and they're inviting developers to build stuff on that platform, so it could get better with time. But we'll see. This is one thing that I'm particularly interested in. Have you tested this out yet, the QX10 here?
I have not, unfortunately. It's one of those things where it sort of makes sense on some level. You're basically, if you're not familiar. So yeah, if you're not familiar with the QX10, Sony's lens-style cameras, they physically attach to the back of your smartphone. So if you've got an iPhone or if you've got a Galaxy Note and you need some more oomph when you're taking photos, you're going to attach one of those to the back, use an application, and sync them, essentially. So you're using your phone's giant screen as a viewfinder/LCD. The picture quality does seem to be actually quite good. The problem, though, is who's really going to carry one of these around and just throw it on the back of their phone? Like, my thinking is that if you're very much an on-the-fly photographer, like we all sort of are with smartphones these days, you're just going to use what's attached and deal with it.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose of mobile photography. Like the fact that you have to have this bulky thing and then go like, oh, wait a second, I'm just going to clip this onto my camera. There's actually one right here, physically out. So you can see it's really light, surprisingly light. This is actually the QX100, which is a little bit more powerful, but it's still huge, it's bulky. The neat thing is that it does operate as a camera on its own. Like, you don't even actually need the phone attached to it. You just don't have a viewfinder. But still pretty cool. Like, here's the shutter button. I just took a picture of Chris. It's a great photo. There it is. Yeah, that's a keeper. And the phone right there, is that the new...
Yeah, that's going to be the Sony Xperia Z1S.
Yeah, yeah. So what are the advantages here for the Z1S?
So in a lot of ways, it's very similar to the Z1 and the Z1 Ultra devices that came before it. Big draw is that it's a little bit thicker, but you do have a bigger battery as well.
Yeah,
the one sort of issue with it that we've seen, again, we've got one of these for a bit of early testing last night. It feels fine. It doesn't inspire much confidence in terms of build quality. I think you'd agree with me on that one.
I agree. It feels plasticky, actually, but and a little bit heavy. But that's the point with the big 3,000, mAh battery or whatever in there. So the battery life is significantly better.
Right, and I guess the one thing for me is that Sony, to their credit, they know how to design a phone, they know how to source components, they know how to put them in a phone, and actually, I would say, a very aesthetically pleasing way, but I don't think that they've nailed that with software. Gerald and I spent a bit of time with it last night, as I mentioned, and the software is just incredibly frustrating. If you're used to stock Android, this is not at all what you're going to be used to, and that's not in a good way. We've seen some companies, we can pull in a bit here, we've seen some companies take approaches that leave it largely at stock, but this is definitely not going to be the case here. I actually don't like, we're looking at the app launch right now, if you slide to the left, you've got your sort of layout management tools, and that sort of threw me for a loop the first few times I've played with it.
That's a little bit like the BlackBerry Smart Hub or whatever that they use on their phones, right? On the Unix phones?
You know, I would say so, but there's a very clear advantage. When you're using BlackBerry Hub on those devices, it's there for a reason. You're pulling out and you're peeking at your messages, your contacts, all of your status updates. There's a very clearly defined reason for that to be there. This just sort of feels like they tacked it on because, well, you have to manage them somehow. I should actually also point out, while we have you guys, we're coming at you live from Sony's booth at CES 2014. If you have any questions or comments or, I don't know, you just want to say hi, tweet at us with the hashtag CESCrunch, and our intrepid social media people will let us know what you're saying. So we'll answer your questions for sure.